listening to We Watch Movies,
I'm Ava,
and I'm Jenna.
and we watch movies. So this week we watched the new Pixar movie, Luca. It came out on June 16th on Disney Plus, and we're gonna talk about it. So Jenna, what was your initial reaction?
I really enjoyed it. I mean, it's a Pixar movie, kind of hard not to, but I just thought everything about it was really fantastic, and I wanted to watch it all in one sitting, but I made myself go to bed last night because sleep is also important. But I really considered just staying up really late and watching it because it's just that fantastic.
Yeah, so for those of you who don't know, Luca is about sea monsters off of the coast of Italy. It follows these two boys, Luca and Alberto, and basically when they get wet, they turn into sea monsters, and they go into this town, and their whole goal is to raise enough money to buy a Vespa so that they can travel the world and sleep under the stars every night. I mean, they call it the fish, but it's the stars. And they go on these quirky little adventures with their friend Julia, and they try not to get splashed or anything to reveal themselves to the whole town. That seems like they only want to kill, sea monsters and do nothing else with their lives. But yeah, if you have ever seen H2O, Just Add Water, it's kind of like that, but Pixar. So, yeah. I honestly, I feel like this movie has not gotten nearly enough hype because it is so good and it is Pixar, but then you have movies like Soul that came out and everybody was like, wow, my god! But then I feel like this one's kind of not as, it wasn't as hyped up, which I'm kind of disappointed in because I thought it was so good.
I know, I don't know if I like this or Soul better. They're two very different movies, so I don't think I could choose until I thought about it for a good long while, which I don't want to do. But I don't know, I don't know why it's not getting the attention it deserves. It's the odd word of this year, Ava.
I know! Oh my gosh, of the last 3 Pixar movies, Onward, Soul, and Luca, unpopular opinion, I liked Soul the least as a movie to watch. I mean, I appreciate it as a masterpiece, but if I'm gonna sit down and watch a Pixar movie of those 3, it would not be Soul. Because both this and Onward were just really feel good, and they are very, they get you in the feels in ways that they shouldn't get you in the feels, and they're also just really fun, and I don't know. I mean, not to say that Soul wasn't, but Soul definitely has more I don't know, I think it had more adult vibes, I guess would be the way I would say it, even though it's a kid's movie, but you know.
Yeah, Soul is definitely more of a thinker.
Yeah, and I don't want to think. I just want to cry. Anyways, it's really well animated, like anything that Pixar has ever made. The themes are poignant, like anything that Pixar has ever made. And it's just so good. It's it had a lot of themes that were similar to other Pixar movies. There's a lot, I could see a lot of Little Mermaid and a lot of Moana at the beginning. But I really do think that it took on a life of its own, between just thematically and with story points and everything. It had a lot of things that were kind of reminiscent of other things, but it is definitely unique and creative. And it tells a story that, we don't really get from Pixar, that people can, relate to, I guess, in a way that they haven't with Pixar movies before, and that's really great.
Yeah, and even though this movie did in the beginning give off like vibes of other movies, which is like, it's fine. There are a lot of movies out there. It's gonna happen. I think it definitely took like maybe some familiar themes and just made them its own and took them in a different direction. So even though it's familiar in that sense, it still tells its own story and ideas, which I appreciated.
Yeah, and on the topic of like what the story was supposed to mean, I've been kind of stalking different articles about this because I want to know like what the initial intentions were by the director, and the director talked about how it was just sort of like based off of his own childhood in Italy, I guess, with his friends and everything, and it was supposed to be about that, but he has liked that it has taken on a whole new life, and he wanted it to like be able to be associated with, like, for anybody, for whether that's like racially I can't talk, but it could also apply to like immigrant stories, or the fan favorite seems to be LGBT stories, which I definitely saw, and it came out in Pride, and I think that Pixar knew exactly what it was doing. And yeah. I was watching this with my sister, and she's like, they're testing the waters, and I was like, oh, I see what you did there.
Oh my god.
But yeah, no, I mean, everything that Pixar makes means a lot, and they always think, like, they always put a lot of thought into their messages, so there's no way that this is all by accident. Because, like, I mean, two boys who are pretty affectionate with each other are in a town of people who want to, like, persecute them for something that's just part of their nature, something that they were born with, and they are trying to hide it by blending in with the rest of them. And then, you know, when they finally reveal themselves, they're accepted, but they know that the world is not always going to accept them, but they have a heartwarming little circle, and it's like, it's really great. I don't know, it's just so good.
You know, and there were like so many other moments in this movie too that like just got me. I was like, no, stop it. Like, I want to cry at the end, not like when there's still other things I have to watch. I can't handle that. Like, I wanted to cry, but I was like, no, I can't. No emotions.
You know what scene got me?
What?
That scene where Alberto revealed himself to Julia, and then Julia was scared, and that made Luca scared to reveal himself to Julia. So then he called Alberto a sea monster and pretended to be scared, and that made me so sad. I was like, oh bro.
And Alberto's reaction to that,
it was so I can't. You can't. I read a tweet that was like, wow, Pixar's got me crying over gay fish at 3 a.m. And I was like, you know what? I mean, leave it to Pixar, right?
Yeah. Yeah, the umbrella scene, I didn't like cry or anything, but like that got me. The umbrella scene at the end.
And the scene where he goes to apologize to Alberto, and Alberto's just sad.
I know.
And also, this didn't really like, okay, this really did get me. The scene when he was leaving to go to school, and they like held hands, and he wouldn't let go of his hand, and then dude.
The end did me in. I did not cry, but I was like, I need to sit on the floor and just pretend that I did not just see that, because I loved that ending, but it ruined me for a good few minutes.
Did you watch the credits?
Yes, I did.
The credits have their whole little like story, like it's like a whole sequel in the credits, and it's like, they were pen pals. And they like hung out around oh my god. Okay, it's just so good. And you know, and I love it because, you know, they kind of hit every point, you know, like they both, Luca and Alberto, find places where they're accepted for who they are. And, you know, Alberto, his father left him, like disowned him, and he found a new sort of father figure at the end, which was really sweet. And then there was also like this part where at the end, after Luca and Alberto were kind of accepted, then these two old women revealed themselves too. And I was like, oh my gosh, historians be like they were roommates.
Yes, I thought that too.
But like, I'm sorry, Pixar can deny it all they want, okay? To please the concerned parents, but they think too hard about these movies for that to have been a coincidence. This is just they knew exactly what they were doing, and it's fantastic.
They got it through Disney. That's all I'm gonna say.
But no, I mean, even if it was for some reason a coincidence that this just happened to apply to so many people, I was, like I said, I was reading a bunch of tweets. There was like an article that had a compilation of different tweets in it. And people are just feeling so seen by this movie. A recurring theme was like, oh, I wish I had this movie when I was growing up. Because it's all these people who are members of the LGBT community who are like, this is like the most meaningful representation I've had in media in a long time. Even though it's not like officially representation, but still. And I think that's really important. I mean, Pixar has done a good job in the past of like trying to be more diverse, and it's like making its way. It's definitely taking a little while, but I'll forgive it because I mean, it is kind of a hard thing to introduce into children's media. It shouldn't be, but it kind of is. And I think this is definitely, I definitely agree that this is them testing the waters. I don't think that they were like actually just oblivious. But it's so important to have things that make people feel seen and like valid and stuff. And like when they were saying, oh, I wish I had this movie growing up, all the kids that do have this movie growing up, they might feel a lot more what is it? I don't know, validated, I guess, just in their own life and their experience. And that's just really important. So even if it was a mistake, Pixar, which I don't believe, you cannot convince me that it was, I applaud the efforts.
I know, it just made me very happy to watch it. And I really like how well, no, I can't tell if I like this or if it's just really funny to me how there are like some beats in the story that like are very obvious to look at with like a queer lens and be like, huh, this is an interesting choice to make. But at the same time, like, I do like how it's not exactly as like subtextual as some other things you could look at, so it's a little less not obvious. That was not a sentence. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, like if there was a concerned parent, they could just say, "Oh, it's just guys being dudes." I don't know.
That sentence just took a year off my life.
Are you, just a question, are you familiar with Legally Blonde the musical?
I've heard of it.
Okay, they have this song, which if you're listening right now and you know the musical, you know what song I'm about to bring up right now. I believe it's called There Right There, but also it's mostly called Gay or European. And it's like it's a really funny song. And it's, the whole thing is like, I don't know, I'll just read you an excerpt from the lyrics. It says, "You see, they bring their boys up different in those charming foreign ports. They play peculiar sports in shiny shirts and tiny shorts." But then at the end, it's like, wait, where is it? I'm scrolling through the lyrics right now. But this song was like, it came into my brain while watching this, but it's just, "This man is gay and European, and neither is disgrace. You've got to stop your being a completely closet case." And it's like, it's a really funny scene in the musical. If you've seen it, I don't know, it's one of my favorites, but it was definitely, this song definitely came into my head while watching it. And it was really fun. I don't know.
I don't think I have anything to add to that.
I will send you the song later. I can't put it in this podcast because copyright, but if you're listening, you could go watch the scene or listen to the song or something, and it's really funny. But like, I don't know, it was like, because you can, I guess, be like, oh, they're just being European, or like, oh, they're just being friends, guys being dudes or whatever. But like, yeah, I mean, I don't really know how to connect this to the broader picture. It was stuck in my head the whole time I was watching it, that I felt the need to share.
Well, since this isn't connected, I've been thinking about doing like the podcast but in like meme format as like a review, and I already have 2 ideas for this episode, so thanks for that.
Okay. Anyways, let's talk cast. So this movie is starring Jacob Tremblay as Luca, and then Jack Dylan Grazer as Alberto, and then Emma Berman as Julia, and I think it also has Maya Rudolph as Luca's mom. Jenna, do you know who Maya Rudolph is?
I know who Maya Rudolph is, Ava, and I also know she was in Hubie Halloween, right?
Yes, and
well, she's been in a lot of other things. She's been in Bridesmaids.
Yes. Have you watched that movie yet?
I've seen bits and pieces. I don't really want to watch the whole thing.
I told you to watch that when we did the Hubie Halloween episode.
I don't know if I want to watch Bridesmaids.
Anyways, so I don't know Jacob Tremblay or Emma Berman at all. I don't know if Emma Berman was in anything, and I don't know if Jacob Tremblay was in anything, but I do know Jack Dylan Grazer. He's been in a lot of things. He was in the It movies. He was in Shazam. I think he was in an HBO show or something. I didn't watch it. But here's a fun little tidbit about Jack Dylan Grazer. So, when the first It came out, I had a massive crush on him. And, okay, when did that movie come out? That movie came out
like 2017?
2017. So 2017, how old was I? I was 14 years old, and he was 14 years old, and I was just smitten. I have since moved on, but I was like, Emmy, I bet you I can figure out, Emmy's my sister, by the way. I was like, I bet you I can figure out which character is him without looking at the cast list. And I could. But it wasn't like that difficult, but I was like, wow, I still got it, you know?
I don't know if this was a school-wide thing, but back in middle school, like 7th or 8th grade, they made us all go see Wonder. Did they make you do that? Okay, that
oh yeah. Oh, that's
Jacob
what
Tremblay was the main guy in Wonder.
Oh my gosh, yes, he was. I didn't have a crush on him.
We've had one person.
Okay, that's an exaggeration, my guy. That's
I know exaggeration. It's just fun.
Yeah. But anyways, okay, Jenna,
Ava.
I have a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
What'd you think of the soundtrack?
I really enjoyed it. So, I was reading about the movie before I watched it, and I think they originally wanted to ask, like, Ennio Morricone, who I did not pronounce his name right, but he's an Italian composer. He's famous for doing a lot of, like, the spaghetti westerns, among other things, and he's a pretty cool composer. What?
It's the song that the whistle song. Isn't that a spaghetti western song?
I think it is, yeah. But anyway, they wanted to ask him to do the soundtrack, but then he died, so they couldn't really ask him to do the soundtrack. So someone else did it. It was like Dan Momer or something. Wait, who did the soundtrack for this movie again? I forget. I think it was Dan. It was Dan.
Dan Romer.
Dan Romer. Okay, I was close enough. So anyway, Dan Romer did the soundtrack instead. So I would have been interested to see who they had in mind, what he would have done with it. But that being said, I also really liked the soundtrack that they did have in the movie. I thought it was really great. It captured the setting really well, and it definitely had that Pixar, like, make you want to cry, looking at you and music. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. I think it held all of the, like, emotions and kind of wistfulness really well, because you have, like, the underwater scenes, you have the town scenes, you have the dream scenes, and I think the music captured all of that really well, and I really enjoyed it.
Pixar always kills it with the soundtracks. I was loud dogs. Anyways, I was excited to hear the music because I know, like, it just came off of, like, Soul winning the Oscar for soundtrack, and I was like, come on, Pixar, don't let us down. And it didn't. I liked how at the beginning and in the credits and everything they had, like, the Italian. Would you call it Italian pop music? I don't know.
Italian
I guess
pop
you would.
music.
Yeah, I guess you could call it that, because, like, I feel like it would have been weird if they put in some, like, random American pop song. I would not have liked that.
Oh no.
Ew, American. But no, I thought it was great. And then, what was it? Oh my gosh, I completely forgot what I was gonna say. Wow. I'm really off my game today, guys.
I really liked the animation style. I mean, that should go without saying, but all of the colors and everything, I liked all of the designs they have. I really, like, I feel like Pixar was just flexing its muscles half the time. Like, all the different transitions they would do from, like, sea monster to human, or, like, back and forth, and, like, especially when you have, like, the rain, or only, like, part of their body. Like, just how they did that, I thought was really great, too, because it could have been unwieldy if a lesser animation company tried it, but they just made it so seamless, and it worked really well.
Right, yeah. Just the overall design of the sea monsters was so, like, pretty. And, I mean, the only thing my only sticking point was the fact that their hair looked like cabbage, but otherwise, it was just so pretty because they were, like, shiny, and they were, like, iridescent, and they were just, like, pretty, and I like the colors, and it's cool. I liked it a lot.
Yeah, and they did a good job of, like, making it realistic. Like, this is what they look like as a sea monster, and this is what they look like as a person. Like, it was very obvious, but also, like, not super obvious, you know?
Yeah, and they were able to, like, I don't know if this is what you're just saying. They, like, when they made them go between sea monster and human, it's like they kept enough of their features the same. Like, they were able to transition really well between them and make them still, like, recognizable. Because, like, I don't know, like, sometimes that's something that you can do with, like, animation that you can't really do with, like, live action. Because if you see, there's a lot of, like, different I guess I'll take a werewolf in as example. If you watch like a monster movie and you see a guy turn into a werewolf, they don't look the same afterwards. They don't, like, you can't really recognize the person. But with this, when they were transitioning between the two, like, it's like the same face. I mean, the noses obviously changed because they just didn't really have noses as sea monsters, and like eye color and everything, but they had generally the same structure and shapes about them, which also probably makes it less confusing for like a small child, I guess, which I think they did a good job at.
Yeah, and I just, I don't know, everything seemed very vibrant and like just really seamless in this movie, which like, I mean, your movie should look like anyway, but it just, I don't know, it was just always very satisfying to watch, and like anywhere you could look on the screen, there was something like really nice to look at. And again, like, it's kind of a basic thing to say, but because it's Pixar, it's like, just take like something really great and imagine it like 10 times better, and that was the animation quality in this movie. Although, wait, I have another screenshot I want to send you of when I paused this movie, so just...
Oh, great.
I keep finding this when I watch movies, and it's fantastic.
Okay, so if we're comparing, like, Rotten Tomatoes, so this one got an 89, and then Onward got an 88, and then Soul got a 95, which, like, I get it. I get that Soul was gonna do much better with critics and everything, because all the critics are adults and everything. But I still liked it the least.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want Luca to get like a lower score than an 89. I think it's like I think it's definitely a 90 or above in my opinion.
Literally.
So, and also, like, if it doesn't do well enough, Disney will be like, oh, look, it didn't do that well. Gotta go in a different direction. And like, no, don't do that, please.
I also am kind of, just, like, hoping that they also capitalize on this in, like, the... What is it? The Italy Pavilion in Epcot too. But they won't do that if it's not super popular. So I hope it is really popular. But like, you know how Epcot has all the different country pavilions and everything.
Yeah.
If I could pick a way for them to capitalize on this, I want them to put that fountain from Porta Rosa. If they do nothing but that, I will be satisfied.
Oh yeah, they could definitely
if they
use
do
the
more
fountain
of
there.
it. That would be so cool.
Yeah, I think that would look good.
It would be so pretty too. It's a pretty fountain, and I feel like that's the minimum that they could do. Cause I mean, and then like, cause I know that they like to sell their merch in their corresponding countries. That they didn't really, I don't remember if they really erected a statue in like Coco's honor or anything, but they do sell like Coco merch in the Mexico Pavilion. So I think that they should put like, oh my gosh, they should put okay, here's what they should do. So they put the fountain there, and they should make a ride where you ride on a Vespa.
Oh my god.
It would be a similar ride system to Flight of Passage, if you've been on that or if you've seen what it is. It's like you get on this like bike kind of thing, and then you're in front of a screen that it like VRs and the bike moves, and it's like a virtual reality type thing. They should do one like that in the Italy Pavilion where you ride on a Vespa and you are like VR'd through like the coast of Porta Rosa, and then like you can go underwater and become it would be so cool. And then like some of the Vespas could be like the shiny red one, some of them could be like the dingy blue one, some of them could literally be like the rickety ones that they built out of scraps, you know, like all of that stuff. Okay, bare minimum, put in a Vespa carousel.
The mouse needs to hire you, like, immediately.
Oh my god. I always thought to myself, if I were gonna go into a STEM field, I would want to go into engineering just to be an Imagineer. Like, exclusively for that purpose. Like, no other reason. Because that would be really cool. But, like, I mean, yeah, Mickey, if you want to hire me, go ahead.
Honestly, like, a Disney with you running it is a Disney I want to see.
But, like, honestly, a lot of the pavilions there are boring, and I think they were talking about, like, making, in the future, when they make more pavilions, I think they said that they were gonna make, like, what is it, like a Brazil, I think, which, like, okay, sure, but what if you made a Greece, and you put a Hercules ride?
That would be pretty cool.
Or at least, if you want to, like, do something cool in Epcot, put a Pocahontas boat ride in the America Pavilion, because the America Pavilion sucks. It really does. All you can do is, like, go to the Hall of Presidents and get a turkey leg or something. Or, like, a hot dog. And, like, the Hall of Presidents, you just go in and you watch a bunch of, like, animatronic men talk about presidency. It's really boring, and I think that there
I know
needs to
some
be...
people that really love a nice visit to the Hall of Presidents, Ava. I know some people.
You do? Because I don't.
No, so I know one person who likes a good visit to the Hall of Presidents, but that doesn't mean that that one person can't have that enjoyment, because it is kind of cool. At least one time.
Okay, you don't need to get rid of the Hall of Presidents, but, like, a Pocahontas boat ride where you ride in the canoe and you go down the river bend. It would be so good. It would be so good. And you know it would be so good.
Disney apologist.
Okay, but you guys were complaining about there being a hidden Mickey in the Pirates movie.
I wasn't complaining.
Okay, well, friend was complaining.
It was a meme.
It was a meme.
It's just fun to be mean to Disney because they have so much money that it doesn't matter if one random person with a podcast with like 30 subscribers is a little mean to them.
34.
34. Really
Wow.
moving up in the ranks here.
I know. I don't know. I think that there's a lot of cool things that Disney can do that Disney will probably never do. But, you know, we can just, like, hold out hope and stuff. That would be cool. I mean, they just did that cool thing with Avengers Campus in California, but poor little Ava's never gonna get to see it because she lives in the East Coast, and it's depressing.
Someday, Ava. Someday, we're gonna have to go on, like, a channel trip. We should just go on a channel road trip.
Just tour the country, or tour the world as WWM Productions.
Yep.
On a Vespa.
On a Vespa, yep. Because a Vespa will last you all across the entire Earth, even over the oceans.
Yes, exactly.
As this movie proved.
I don't know, Jenna. Have you ever like seen me swim?
I don't think I have.
So how do you know that I'm not a sea monster?
You know, I don't, actually. Do you have something you want to tell me, Ava?
No.
Okay. I'm cool with that. You know, I never did go to the water fountain with you during our gym class, so who knows?
Yeah, I know you didn't. I invited you several times. Anyways. But in all seriousness, this is like... It's just such a pretty movie, and they could do so many pretty things in Epcot about it. Oh my gosh. And they should have, like, Julia's Santa cheese store where you could buy cheeses, but like they all have Santa before it. That was really funny. I really liked that.
Yeah, no, I was like, oh wait, it's just all cheese.
Hold on. Wait a minute. I did not realize that Luca was wearing booty shorts the whole time.
What? Where is this coming from?
I'm looking at pictures, and I did not realize his shorts were not dress code. He would get dress coded for wearing those shorts.
Well, he's also a guy, so maybe he wouldn't.
Oh yeah, double standards.
Sorry, I had to throw that in there. I mean, I'm not wrong, but
you're not wrong. Oh my gosh! Hold on. Let me click on this thing. So I've seen several different things saying that Luca is Pixar's Call Me by Your Name.
You see, I don't know why they would draw that comparison. Like, they're both Italian. They're both at least a little gay. Call Me by Your Name? Like, no! Don't do that! That no, thank you. Little off-putting.
TFW, you're Pixar, but you accidentally remake Call Me by Your Name.
They did not! I haven't seen that movie, but I know enough to know they didn't. I mean, they did a little, but like barely. It was the bare minimum.
I'm sorry, I just got distracted. There's an ad on here that says movie mistakes that slipped under the radar, and it's just a picture of Wonder Woman with her arms up, and there's a red circle around her armpit. And I'm curious, but
Wonder Woman doesn't have armpits.
It's like, nope. I don't think I've ever seen Call Me by Your Name. I feel like I should see it. It's an Oscar winner.
You see,
is that Timothée Chalamet?
Yeah, I haven't seen it, and part of me wants to see it, but the other part of me knows what it is and knows about the book, and I don't.
Hang on. So that's Timothée. I'm confused.
Wait, so Ava, how much do you know about Call Me by Your Name?
Not much. I'm sorry, I fell down another rabbit hole because a person told me that Timothée Chalamet was an anti-vaxxer, and I'm trying to confirm or deny these allegations. But anyways, no, what is Call Me by Your Name about other than just gay people?
Well, I mean, it really is just about gay people. But it's, I don't know, like, there's a 7-year or so age gap between the two of them. And it's not the best because one of them is 17. So, that's a little...
Oh.
Yeah. I mean, it's like somewhere around there. I don't know if that's the exact number, but... So that right there is just, I don't know. And I've heard murmurings about it. Also, wait, if I ask you, if I just say one word in relation to this movie, just internet. But if I say one word about this movie, and I just ask you what it means to you in that context, can I just see?
Wait, so you want me to say what I think a word means in context of being in a gay movie?
Yes. Well, just this one in particular.
Okay.
There is a peach.
Oh! There's There's just a Peach?
Well, I mean, a character has said Peach.
Oh, a character has a Peach.
It's a fruit. I think it's a peach.
What? Okay, wait. He has it, like, in his hand?
Yes.
I don't know.
Okay, so you don't know what I'm talking about. Which, maybe, okay. I think that's the difference between the two of us in this movie.
No, I feel like I kind of do, though.
Okay, that's all I needed to know. We can move on from this.
Wait. I can't tell if you're talking literally or not, Jenna.
No, we can move on. We can move on.
This...
My curiosity has been sated.
Well then. Okay. I don't really know where to continue from there. Is that all you have to say about that movie?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen it.
Oh, then how do you know about
because there's also a book. So I've heard people talk about the book, and then like some people have also watched the movie, and just anyway, I really don't know that much about the movie.
Which character has the peach, might I ask?
I think it was Chalamet.
Chalamet.
Timothy. That's his name.
Timothy Chalamet?
Yeah, his character. I don't know. It's a movie. Maybe I'll watch it. Maybe I won't.
I don't know. Timothy Chalamet is gonna be in Dune. That movie looks good.
Yeah.
I'm excited for that one. I don't know. I've never really been a Timothy Chalamet fan, but Dune looks good.
Yeah, I mean, I've liked him in the things that he's been in, but I'm not like a stan or anything.
Same. I haven't seen all of his movies. Well, not all of his movies, obviously, but I haven't seen a lot of them that I've been meaning to see. Like I haven't seen Lady Bird, which I keep saying that I need to see. I've
watched the movie and you haven't?
Correct. I haven't seen it. I've been meaning to see it for a long time.
I should get a plaque to commemorate this day.
Yes, you should. Oh my gosh. Somebody make Jenna a plaque, please. Because I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it until she completes all of her homework.
I was gonna say something, but then I remembered I can't say it, or else, like, you'd have to kill me, because, you know.
What?
Don't worry about it.
Jenna!
It's not that bad.
Jenna!
It's about a project.
It's about it. Oh, okay. Okay. Oh, okay. I'll take your word for it that it's not that bad.
I'll explain later.
Everything will make sense.
Not that bad.
It's not that bad. That's a great screenshot, by the way. I didn't really get to bring it up. It's beautiful. You know, I should, if I actually get around to posting about this one on Instagram, I should put these random screenshots that you get in the carousel.
It keeps happening. I don't try to find these screenshots. I'm just like, oh, I have to go do something. I pause the movie. I, like, get up to leave, and then I, like, look back, and I'm like, oh my god, what is happening?
Yeah, hopefully I'll be able to spam you guys soon on TikTok and Instagram, to catch up. And also, actually, YouTube, hopefully. We'll see how that adventure goes. So I can catch up on all the things that I'm supposed to be doing that I haven't been doing, which should be cool. And if you want to see, like, weird screenshots that Jenna gets while she watches movies, please let us know, because I'm sure that she will have plenty more to share with us in the future.
Who knows? Now that you said it, it might never happen again.
Well, you know what? If it never happens again, it's not my fault. It's your fault.
Thanks, Ava.
You're welcome. But yeah, I really hope that Pixar does more with this like movie and more things like this movie. And I hope that this movie ends up with the recognition and appreciation that it deserves, because it really is so good. And yeah, it's a very accurate comparison that you made between this is the Onward of 2021. Because it's like it just saddens me when just like really great movies don't get the recognition that they deserve because of either poor marketing, a small platform, which we know that Pixar doesn't have, or like a pandemic.
Oops.
What?
Oops. Pandemic.
Because, like, I mean, I think Onward had fine marketing. It's just that the pandemic hit right when it was in theaters. So they had to put it on Disney+. This, I don't think, had very stellar marketing. I feel like they didn't really, like, advertise it too much, which might have been. It might have been because they knew what they were doing, and they were afraid that if it was super marketed, people would get mad.
That's really interesting, because I've been using Spotify a lot recently on my computer, and unlike you, I actually have ads, because I'm not paying for Spotify Premium, but every time Spotify would break for ads, I'd get an ad about Luca. Even after it came out, I was still getting ads for it.
I mean, I saw the preview in, like, the movies, like, when it would come up before movies, but I didn't really get that many ads for it, and that might have just been because, like, I don't get, like, the majority of advertising that comes to me is through Instagram, and I follow, like, a lot of different things, like, different production companies and stuff, or, like, big businesses, like Rotten Tomatoes, or Disney, or Sony, Warner Brothers, etc. And obviously, like, Sony and Warner Brothers wouldn't be advertising this, but I have, like, 800 different Disney accounts that I'm following, and, like, there really wasn't that much hype for it. Whereas with like, Soul, I got ads for that on Snapchat every 2 seconds, and, like, it was all over Instagram, and then this one just, like, wasn't, you know?
I feel like Disney's done this before. I feel like they've done this with Treasure Planet, and that was also a movie that I don't think Disney really loved, so they kind of buried it. Yeah. Have you seen that one?
No.
Oh, well, I mean, this just proves my point. But yeah, it was I think it was like one of their, like, very last 2D animation movies. And just, I don't know, there was, like, this whole string of history about this movie you could go back through and find on, like, YouTube. A lot of people have done video essays about it, but even that, they kind of tried to bury that movie, because I don't think the people high up in Disney really liked it, so they, like, had, like, horrible marketing for it. So, who knows? I would not put it past Disney at all.
I wonder what, let me go. Is Luca a flop or a hit?
I don't think you can call it a flop yet, because it's barely been out for a week.
Well, I want to see how it did. Oh, that's not even the right... Luca, I guess box office? I know it's not in the... Let's see. That's not even the right Luca! Ugh. I don't know, maybe we need to wait longer to see if it's a flop or whatever. But I know Onward was a flop because of the pandemic, which is really depressing because it would have been so good, you know? And I really hope that this isn't a flop because it's not as hyped up. And I don't know if they just didn't hype it up as much because they knew what they were doing and they were scared. Or if they just did hype it up and I didn't notice or something, but I feel like there just hasn't been as much talk about this as there has been Soul. Even just like in verbal communications with people, it's just not been as like pushed, I guess.
Yeah, and if they are kind of influencing, if it's not going to be super successful, that's kind of a big disappointment for two reasons. Like, I mean, obviously, but because this is YouTube, I'm going to explain the obvious anyway. And the first is that just because so many people have seen this movie and kind of picked up on some of, like, the subtext, I guess, of what Pixar is doing or doing but not realizing with this movie, then Disney can just point to it and be like, oh, it didn't do well. We can't do something like this in the future. And they will continue not to do it, which is really disappointing because it's such an influential company like this. Why wouldn't you have, like, actual textual representation in your movies? And also, just, this movie is just really fantastic. The animation is incredible. The story is amazing. All of the characters are great, and I really loved it. And just, the ending will make you feel like a bajillion things, and you will have to lie on the floor and maybe sob. Just a little bit. So I don't know why people...
Are you speaking from personal experience?
I did not sob, but I wanted to. But I don't know why people just go watch the Gay Fish movie on Disney Plus. They didn't even put it on Premiere Access. You don't have to pay $30 to see it. Go watch it.
Do it.
I will get off my soapbox.
Anyways, guys, this has been like a good episode. I always love the episodes about movies that we actually liked. So if you've made it this far, thank you so much. It means a whole lot to us that you listened enough. So go ahead and like it if you liked it. If you didn't, don't dislike it because that's mean. You can leave a comment of what you thought of Luca down below. You can subscribe. If you're not on YouTube, hi. You can probably follow us on whatever platform you're on. And you can also make your way over to YouTube to subscribe to us because we also come out with regular weekly videos. They tend to come out on Sundays. Sometimes they don't. Me. Anyways, though, it's like, it means a lot when you watch our videos, and we're very grateful. So thank you for making it this far. Thank you for listening. I hope we see you next time. Follow us on everything. And yeah, so we'll see you next week. Jenna, anything to add?
Watching this movie really made me want to go eat some pasta and also go to the beach, which is impressive because I really don't like the beach and the sun and the ocean or boats or any of that, but I do like pasta. So somehow this movie did something really spectacular, so go watch it.
Okay, bye!